Hey, besties. Let's throw some shade, honey. You ready to get into it? I don't understand why Toya and Mimi are coming at Sweet Tea the way they were. What did Sweet Tea do? She didn't have no skin in this game. This fight was between Quad, King, and Gregory. What did Sweet Tea do wrong? Welcome, besties. You are now behind the shade, and thanks for joining me. I recap your favorite reality shows weekly. Now let's kiki and ha ha and get into another episode of Married to Medicine, Season 11, Episode 13. This ain't the playground. Recap. Did I sound like Greg? This ain't the playground. Do we like the title of this episode? Yes, because you know I love a quote from the show as the title. I love it. And how would you rate this week's episode, besties? I loved it. It was just giving. I laughed. A 10. I'm going to give it a 10. You drop down the comments and you let me know what you thought about this week's episode. And please like the video. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel and make sure your notification bell is on, ding dong, so that you know each and every time I post my content. Now, the episode starts with a montage. We got Simone at her doctor's office talking and making her patient laugh. We got Dr. Jackie over there with the Brad and Jessica and True turned one. He's coming in for his annual, maybe his 1 year checkup, and Dr. Jackie's like, oh wait, hold on, don't do refunds. We don't do refunds. What's up? And then we had Dr. Scott. He's at the house showing the kids his first time he gave birth. He delivered a baby, and he told them that baby is now 20 years old. And so Contessa's over there like, well, your daddy is old. So then we have Toya. She's at home making bacon and sausage. Eugene said he didn't want none, but I guess she was making it for herself. So she asked Eugene if he talked to Greg. And Eugene was like, no, I feel like Greg need his space after the way he left the trip. So Toya is urging him to call him. You need to call him, check on him, call him. And so he's like, okay. So Quad, pops up on Heavenly. And Heavenly's like, are you traumatized? Quad was like, yes. I was like, we all are traumatized, girl. You are messy, Heavenly. You caused a mess. Shoot, you over there traumatized. That's why you was talking in that old little fake, little low, little squeaky, little voice. So Heavenly was like, Greg and Sweet Tea, honey, they need some space. And because y'all can't be in the same room. Oh, hush. So Toya wants to throw a party to celebrate her and Eugene's 16th wedding anniversary. Kudos to you guys. Good job. They've been through it and they have stuck it out. So they want to invite everybody. Toya wants to invite the gang to a dance rehearsal. And then she will invite them to the ball, to celebrate her 16th wedding anniversary. So she wants to do a Victorian era style party. And Eugene agrees that everyone should be invited. He says he likes King. And then, Toya is real cool with Quad again. So this will be good. So Quad tells Heavenly that she wants to gather the girls again and have a good time and just have some fun after, coming off the backs of that trip in Key West. Heavenly is like, no, you can't invite Phaedra. She ain't fooling with you. And so she was like, and neither can Sweet Tea can't come either. I ain't fooling with her. So everyone comes and meets for the dance rehearsal except for Quad and King. They don't want to be around no drama. They don't know if Sweet Tea and Greg was coming. They didn't come. And Mimi got stuck at the office, so Steve came by himself. Child, Anila and her husband shows up because Anila is not letting go of this show. Andy, you gonna let her back on this show. If you know it or not, she is not going anywhere. She pops up. The event, Toya decides it's going to be like a Georgetown Chronicles, like Bridgerton. So Toya wants to figure out how to get Quad and Greg in the same building together with Sweet Tea and, and King and all that. And so they're not too much worried about Phaedra because that's a lost cause. And it's a lost cause because she left the group, the show, to go back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. We ain't worried about Shaq or Apollo or Shireen. So Contessa says that she called Sweet Tea, and Sweet Tea told her that there is a restraining order that has been filed for attempted assault, allegedly. And so in the confessional, Simone said that was a BIT beep move. Steve says, oh, bro don't have no street code. Greg said, look, I was minding my business and King attacked me. He was gonna beat me up. Damon said he is on King's side. He said he didn't do anything wrong and he don't see it the way that Greg sees it. Dr. Damon says you're supposed to defend your woman. Heavenly asked Eugene, right, like what would you do if some dude told Toya to shut up? And so Eugene said, oh, it would be a problem. Eugene says that he and Scott are going to go talk to Greg. And then after that, they'll see if they can get him and King to sit down and sort things out. So in the meantime, Toya meets Mimi and Sweet Tea for lunch. Child, so she's telling Sweet Tea that she don't want to have to choose people in this group. She wants to be able to invite everyone to stuff and everyone can come and have a good time. Regardless if you cool or not, just gather yourselves and govern yourselves accordingly. Sweet Tea was like, well, there are people who have been divorced and they can't get over their past. And so she said, oh, okay, well, we heard Greg was filing a report because he's in an angry place. And honey, Sweet Tea said, oh, well, honey, that's my business, honey. We ain't talking about that. So she said some people have reached their breaking point. So I guess she's talking about Greg. And so Sweet Tea had to remind them, y'all know, King took his shirt off and charged at Greg, and so Toya or Mimi was like, well, where is the grace? I think that was Mimi, like, where is the grace? And so Sweet Tea was like, that's up to Gregory. And so they're like, well, Sweet Tea, you were out of control on the beach. And I'm like, she was out of control doing what? She tried to run after King, but they told her, go to your husband. Why was that out of control? Because she got emotional? Because, this mess is still going on the next day and your dude is trying to fight my husband and I got this combat training I ain't done use in a while and I'm ready to go and I can't be emotional because this dude in here messing with my husband. They getting ready to have a fight. You would be emotional too, Mimi. I see you. I'm keeping my eye out on you, girl. So she's like, yeah, you weren't the same person. You wasn't the friend that girl, she wasn't. So Sweet Tea was like, because I was yelling. And so here go Toya in her confessional. Girl, you be doing stuff. Girl, what? So Toya asked, well, can you sit down with Quad and just talk about boundaries? Why does Sweet Tea need to sit down and talk to Quad about boundaries? I wish I would. So she was like, only Greg can make that decision. Honey, she ain't finna talk about nothing. After that fight her and Greg had, she is like, mum's the word. I'm not talking. My man is the head of me. He is in charge of this team. I ain't about to be fighting with that man because they probably fought all night long that day. And so Toya's like, well, what did he say? And so CT was like, he don't want to talk about it. And so Toya is asking her, well, would you walk away from us as friends? And so Sweet Tea said, no, but I don't want to fight for. And so Toya was like, okay, because I don't want to fight for something and the other person isn't fighting for it, you know. And so Sweet Tea says, well, it's up to you, Toya. Like, you know, choose sides. That's up to you. So Toya can't believe that Sweet Tea has, you know, just been shutted up by Greg. Like she ain't talking. And Toya is trying to get her, well, what do you think? Well, what do you think? And she's like, it's up to Greg. Well, how about you? It's up to Greg. How do you feel? It's up to Greg. So over at Scott's house, Eugene and Greg come over. And so Layla, which is Scott and Contessa's daughter, you know, the flip one with the big personality, she was making mango juice for them. And she told them that it was $5 a cup. Eugene was like, put it on my bill. So they came to check on Greg. And so he said no one has reached out to him since. They're the first ones. So Eugene said that, you know, he needed a break to cool off and then asked him about pressing charges. Like, we heard you pressing charges. He said, yeah, you know, remember, King came charging at me like a maniac. And so it's something called simple battery. And so Eugene was like, did he touch you? Well, you know, I'm doing the simple battery. Yeah, but did he touch you? Eugene asked again. Greg said no, but we grown. This ain't the playground, the title of the episode. He said, you know, he could do 60 days in jail. He could pay a fine and he could have some probation. They looking like, what? But here Greg is looking exactly like Simone said. He got his shoes off, no socks on. He's sitting there with his legs crossed, drinking his juice, looking through his glasses with that squeaky voice, just looking like a B-I-T beep. So Eugene says, you know, no judgment because I'm not a cop caller. I just don't do that. Eugene says, you know, y'all both was standing up for your ladies, you know. And so Scott said, are you looking for an apology from Quad? Like, what's up? So he was like, this is what I want. So child, Gregory gets his laptop out. He get his pink speaker out, child. Why is the speaker pink? It must be Sweet Tea's. He says he was in an emotional space, y'all, and he came up with this statement piece called Baby Child. Now, on the screen, on TV, it says the song was called Baby Child. The artist was Dr. G. The director was Sweet Tea. And the label was Definitely Not. So he attempts to sing this song, I Gotta Be Free, Set Me Free from the Bull. I'm a man, just a man, but I can't stand for somebody to lie on me. I want to get on with my life. I got a brand new wife. He said he started playing his guitar and he is pretty proud of his song. Eugene and Scott are laughing at him. I was like, Scott, I know you ain't laughing with them raps you be trying to do. Maybe you should be on the remix with Dr. G in this song called Baby Child. He could sing and you could rap. We'll call y'all to do what was the girls from England? Marsha Ambrosius. What is the group? Floetry. Y'all could be the new Floetry. They laughing. So in Eugene and Toya's confessional, he tells Toya that she better not make him have to sing a song about her. And he said he wanted to sue Greg for making him listen to that mess. It was hilarious. Okay. Greg is some kind of special. They gonna eat him up at this reunion. The ladies all gather over at Quad's house, and everyone is there but Phaedra. Uh-huh. So she has two rules for this party. Everyone must have a drink, including you, Jackie. You know, non-alcoholic, of course. Not alcoholic. And no one can talk about the past. But we all know that Quad is the queen of talking about the past. Every time we saw her with King, she brought up Greg. So Simone says she is Simone is the queen of bringing. Simone even said that Quad is the queen. Why can't I talk? Let me drink some water. Hold on. Simone says that Quad is the queen of bringing up the past. She is. And yeah, I know Keenan's the one that probably told her that. That's where she got that idea from. And so they're like, why? And so Quada's like, because we've talked about the past enough. We are onward and upward. Yes, onward and upward. So Quad declines Toya's invite to her party. Toya says, please reconsider. And she was like, no, because Greg filed charges on King. Understandable. Mimi says Sweet Tea had a lack of accountability when they all met up. Simone says King said he was sorry that it went too far. So she respects King for that. She was like, he's a man's man. And Quad over there like snickering like, that's why I love him. Oh, Black Love is so cute. Look at Quad over there just smitten by her man. That's why I love him. So Mimi continues. She said, she was unable to say she wants to move on and have a talk with Quad and King. Uh-huh. Cause honey, she don't want to hear Greg's mouth, honey. Honey, that fight they had, honey, we only saw a piece of it, okay? It got bad. I'm sure it was terrible. Greg wore Sweet Tea down to the ground. And I'm not talking about abuse. I'm just saying like he probably got, just talking. It won't stop talking. So Contessa thinks that they should move on because she don't think it was a big deal what happened in Florida. I'm like, you don't? Wait a minute. You want who to move forward? Contessa, the one who always brings up what happened between anything that Heavenly has said to her. She forever bringing something up. Didn't she bring it up in this episode? And you want to talk about pressing charges. When you met with Heavenly in Key West, how you tackled her down to the ground. She need to be suing you too for simple battery. No, you actually put hands on her. She should sue you. You took her down, you tackled her down to the ground. And then where did they go, y'all? Was that Orlando? Wait a minute. These people been to Florida twice. Orlando and Key West. Oh my goodness. That whole old, what did she call her? Check square up, H.O. Child Contessa, you are so lame. Okay, so where is hold on, y'all. Okay, so Toya says it was Sweet Tea not choosing to be in the group and making her choose sides with Quad. And she doesn't want to choose sides. Toya wants to choose everyone, but she will choose Quad because Sweet Tea she has a lack of control, they said. What did Sweet Tea do? She has a lack of control in her marriage. She won't control her thoughts. She won't make a decision. Honey, whatever. No, everybody. I'm gonna keep going. Everybody don't have a handpicked husband like Eugene, Toya. So, and Toya feels like Greg and Sweet Tea have a lack of accountability. Quad says she loves them because they put themselves in Quad's shoes. And she got emotional. She was crying because everybody's picking her and not them. And she feels like she won the battle. And so they have a group hug. And it's like, oh, so we all know that everybody will start off the next season on a good note. So over at Phaedra's, Jackie and Curtis come over, and Jackie brings white wine. She said, I hope you like it. I pulled it from my wine cellar. Why do you have a wine cellar when you don't drink, Jackie? I mean, I'm allergic to pork. I don't have a pork factory here. I don't smoke crack. I don't have crack here. What I don't participate in, I don't have. Why do you have that? So Phaedra told her that she likes red, but thank you. Girl, Jackie, you don't drink. Why do you have a wine cellar? Came with the house? Oh, maybe because Curtis drinks? Okay. Maybe that's what that is. So Phaedra tells Jackie that the drama in Florida had nothing to do with her. Exactly. But she said it was shady. You know, that Heavenly, she likes some mess. And she was like, Heavenly is the devil's daughter. And he is. Jackie was like, well, how is... Oh, Jackie says that Phaedra ain't taking no accountability, like none. She said she knew Apollo was coming. She brought check and knows that they knew each other. She brought him to make Apollo jealous, and it backfired on her. Then she invites her to come to Toya's party. She says there is no moving forward for her. Ooh, Phaedra. She said, go play with somebody else. Don't play with me. What did Greg call this? This ain't the playground. Or should I say, this ain't the playground. So Simone says Phaedra gave them a hard time because she was ready to be freaking frack again. And she's headed back to the number one mean girl, Portia. She said this on Watch What Happens Live. Right? Yes. Greg. Huh? Oh. Oh, wait. So she said, Greg, she said King didn't hit him and protected Quad. Heavenly was like, no one gives her a pass. Oh. No, they was talking about Heavenly. And they was like, why do y'all give Heavenly a pass? And so Simone, this is on Watch What Happens Live. Simone was like, we don't give her a pass. And the last time she made all them comments, you know, about the gay thing, she said, you know, we held her, it was bad. We held her accountable and she needs to get off social media. And so Phaedra will be missing at the reunion, the Married to Medicine reunion, because she was mad about Apollo and Shireen showing up. And now that we know Shireen and Apollo are divorced, honey, Simone said that ain't nothing but karma. And so even Cecil said that the reunion was hot. The hot seats were King and Greg. And he said it was too much. Then they asked Simone about the unseen footage of Karen. Like, what did you think about it? Simone said it was sad and I hope she gets some help. And that was the end of Married to Medicine. Did I cover everything? So I guess it ended where Phaedra told Jackie that she was not moving forward with the group, with the show, nothing. And that was that on that. I don't remember any previews for next week's show. What do y'all? I don't remember. I guess it'll be I don't think they showed any. Because Watch What Happened Live came right on right after that. So I guess next week will be Toya and Eugene's party. That's what I'm guessing, huh? I guess so. I hope this will be a good time. It shouldn't be no drama. But what's going to happen? I'm sure they showed some previews. I just don't remember. Did Sweet Tea and Greg come and Quad and King was there? I don't know. But we'll find out next week, besties. And you know, Potomac is done, and I will be reviewing The Real Housewives of Atlanta because they come on next Sunday also. And I'll be back with another recap, besties. Bye. Bye, besties.